Hey guys, it's Miss Stallmaker. Today we're just going to talk about sample space again. Yesterday you should have watched that video on Edpuzzle and answered some questions just to get you guys familiar with it. So we're going to start off going over some examples, well, definitions. So sample space. The sample space describes all of the possible outcomes of an event. Sample space can be displayed with either using lists, tables, or tree diagrams to determine the probability of a simple or compound event. So a simple event is an event, say you're tossing a coin. Well, you can only land on heads or tails. There are only two options. So those would be considered simple events. A compound event is when there is more than one possible outcome. So an example of a simple event would be this first problem. So the New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys are playing. What are the possible outcomes of the game? Well, the only possible outcomes would be the Patriots win or the Cowboys win. Those are the only two outcomes that could possibly happen. And for the second question, it says a number cube is rolled. What are the possible outcomes? Well, a number cube, which is a dice, well, you can only roll on a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, or a 6. Those are your only possible outcomes. So that is an example of a simple event of a sample space. All right, so for this first question, let's zoom in. So it says, for breakfast, Jamie can choose from cereal, eggs, or a muffin. She can also drink coffee, orange juice, or milk. What are all the possible outcomes? How many outcomes are possible? All right, so there's a couple ways that you can do this. I'm going to show you the quicker way. So we have two options here. We have, this is what Jamie is going to choose to eat. So for eating, we have cereal, eggs, and a muffin. So that's the food she can eat. Well, she also can choose from certain drinks. So we can choose from coffee, orange juice, coffee, orange juice, or milk. All right, so the quickest way to figure out our possible outcomes, well, how many foods do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. How many drinks we have? We have 1, 2, 3. So we would just do 3 times 3 is 9. So there are 9 total outcomes possible. But what you will be doing on your homework and on a state test, it might ask you to do this. So I want you to list out all the outcomes. So we're going to start with cereal. Nope. Come on. Sorry, guys. So we're going to start with cereal since it's the first one listed. So what can she have for drink? Well, the first option is coffee. So that's our first option. I'm going to stick with cereal since we're already on it, and I'm going to move on to our next drink, which is orange juice. Cereal one more time because we have one more drink left, and it's going to be milk. All right, so we're finished with cereal. I'm going to move on to our next food, which is eggs. So we have eggs, and our first choice of drink is coffee. Next choice of drink is orange juice. And then lastly, with eggs still, milk. All right, so we have all of our options with our cereal. We have all of our options with our eggs, and we're now going to find out our options with the muffin. So, muffin, she can have muffin and coffee. She can have a muffin and orange juice, or she could have a muffin and milk. So, to find out if we do it this way, to find out how many possible outcomes there are, all you have to do is just count up your options. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And look here, we have 9 right here. So that is how you would find the sample space for this question. All right, moving on. At registration, a student can select from Spanish or German class, as well as art, music, or theater. What are all the possible outcomes? How many total outcomes are possible? Okay, so the student has to pick either a language class, so Spanish or German, but they also have to choose one of these three, art, music, or theater. So if we first just go through and underline, we have Spanish and German for a language. And then for our other classes, we have art, music, or theater. So the quick way, you would just do, well, we have 1, 2 here, and we have 3 classes down here. So that would be 6. So to double check, we are going to make our list. So we're going to start with Spanish since it's the first one listed. So she could take Spanish and she could choose art. Or she could choose Spanish and choose a music class. Or Spanish and a theater class. Well, maybe she doesn't want to take Spanish, so we're going to do German. So she's going to choose, or he will choose, German and art. If he doesn't want to do art, you can take music. Or he could take German and theater. So to count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it matches our number right up here. So that is how you find that answer. So for your assignment, if you are still listening at the moment, please type in next to your name the word ice cream for a bonus point, just to make sure you guys are listening. So it says, welcome to the ice cream parlor. You take a trip to the local ice cream parlor, and there's so many flavors and toppings you can't decide what you want. First, you decide to figure out how many different combinations you can make. Maybe this will help. Using the flavors and toppings on the next slide, create a list to show all the different combinations you could choose from. Don't forget, you need to pick the perfect bowl color to put your ice cream in. All right, so here you will fill out on this table below. So we have our flavors, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Our toppings, chocolate sprinkles, rainbow sprinkles, chocolate sauce, and caramel sauce. And then we have our bowl colors, pink, green, blue, yellow. Well, to double check to see how many you're going to need, remember, you can multiply each, however many are in each group. So we have 3 times 4 times 4. So to start you off, I would start, well, with the flavors. Chocolates. I'm going to go across the line. I'm going to go start with the chocolate sprinkles. And then I'm going to do a pink bowl. But you're not done. So we have to see what our options are. Chocolate sprinkles. And now we're going to do a green bowl. So you have to make sure that the chocolate with the chocolate sprinkles gets one of the each bowl colors. So you're going to have to do that for each one. So if you have any questions, please email me and make sure when you guys are finished, it should say turn in right there. And don't forget, if you heard my magic word, please put that next to your name. All right, see you guys tomorrow.